Yo, what's up? Miguel Lloyd, host of Life Full Circle Radio. Happy Monday, or whatever day that you're watching this. Andre Sias, I see you in the building, hanging out with us. I'll see you in a couple of weeks with the fam. So this week we're going to talk about Keke Palmer and her boyfriend, and we're going to get a couple of perspectives on that. Britney Spears forgot that she was a celebrity in the 90s, not today, because she tried to run up on Victor Wembanyama and got slapped by his security. And she's like, I don't know why, I don't understand. Nobody know you, girl, especially if they under the age of 30. And then also Threads. Threads is the new Twitter alternative that Mark Zuckerberg is trolling, what's his name, Elon Musk with. And now that cage match is on and popping. And then, man, Bob Marley trailer just came out, and I'm excited. Let's go. All right, what's up? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Don't play. You play too much.
No, I'm not playing. I'm trying to make sure there's not some domestic violence situation happening in my living room right now. They're outside talking loud.
Oh,
I don't know if it's a guy that needs loud conversation or an actual.
Oh, anyway. All right. So anyway, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? So everybody's been talking about Keke Palmer and her butt out with Usher this week, and there's very few times that I openly.
Can you hold on 1 second? I'm sorry to our listeners, Miguel. Can you hold this mic? I just need to make sure everything's good. I'm so sorry. Just go to one shot. I'll be right back. I apologize.
Him and this Vegas. I gotta get to Vegas and check out Usher's show, because is everything all right?
Guyanese families and Indian families. Must we have loving conversations where it sounds like y'all having a real fighting match? Like I came out and mother-in-law's like, aren't you doing your show? Why are you out here? Because y'all are yelling. Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, yes, we are starting. I'm focused now, people. Let's get this party started.
Thank you. All right, so anyway, we were talking about Usher Raymond and the whole situation with Keke Palmer and Keke Palmer's boyfriend, who doesn't seem to really have a name, because everybody just calls him boyfriend or BD or that jealous dude. What's his name?
Unemployed. His name is Unemployed. That's
So for people not following it, Keke Palmer, who it was wild. It was somebody I saw on the thread. He said, "Oh, Keke Palmer was Akilah from Akilah and the Bee." Yeah. Okay, and so, which was 20 years ago or more. But so evidently her boyfriend, she went to her girlfriend's out, and they go to Vegas, and Usher's serenading her, and she's danced around and got turned around and her butt's out. And yeah, and then so her boyfriend wasn't too happy about it. And then all of a sudden folks got real liberated. It's funny how that pendulum swings, because I think last week somebody was at the BET Awards. What's her name? Ice Spice, Spicy Spice.
No. BET Awards, everybody's butt was out. BET Awards look like the Playboy Mansion on a Friday night. Everybody just
right.
Keke Palmer was not that bad.
Keke Palmer wasn't that bad, but the point I was making was that I guess it was a situation where Ice Spice's boyfriend, I guess, is little Uzi Vert.
No, you got your video hoes mixed up. So JT Money,
Who is JT Money? I'm so out the loop. Okay.
Is dating little Uzi Vert.
Okay.
He has a song where he's talking about how pretty Ice Spice is, because
okay, there we go. I knew Ice Spice was in there somewhere.
Yes. So she was like, "You a groupie? Get out my face!" Threw her phone. Somehow got her phone back to then throw it again, which was my slow clap.
They special. They real special. So anyway, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna talk a little bit about relationship and what you'll hear from me and Kia what we think about this situation. In addition to that,
we'll loop in Jonah Hill, because Jonah Hill had a very similar situation happen over the weekend, and me and Miguel are both kind of like,
Jonah Hill, who's everybody's cool white dude in the movies that you'd be like, who's Jonah Hill? And you watch the movie, like, oh, that's Jonah Hill. Yeah, he's funny. Mm-hmm. Outside of that last joint, everybody said it wasn't that good with the girl who used to date. I used to remember everybody's name. Actress.
I'm so sorry that Lauren.
What's her
London,
name? Lauren London, and then and she, yeah. She's not a
Lauren
horrible actress.
London,
Stop it.
Gabrielle Union, Michael B. Jordan. It's just them three that I just need y'all to either go to acting class or just stop playing with us. Stop playing in my face.
But
With
then you
y'all
always
non.
want to bring up Nick Cannon in every conversation. You always want to bring up Nick Cannon in every conversation. He ain't done nothing but drumline that's worth nothing.
I didn't bring up Nick Cannon. I said Michael B. Jordan. It's
No,
Michael
it doesn't
B.
matter.
Jordan.
No, I know exactly what I was doing because you always try to slip Nick Cannon in on our production meetings. Like, can we talk about Nick Cannon again and baby number 14? No, we can't. I'm tired of talking about Nick Cannon and his loose stuff. Anyway, all right. So and then you man, I didn't even notice. I don't know how this was not on my radar. How many people out there? If man, there's a Bob Marley movie coming out.
Yes. If you have not seen this trailer, I'm talking, I saw it and goosebumps. It's going to win all the awards. And I know we say that about every Black epic movie. Yeah. This is different. This is really one of those movies where you really get to see the life of somebody that no one really talks about that often. They always talk about Bob Marley's music, but they never talk about who he was as a man and as a person. This movie really brings that out of his rise to stardom.
We'll talk about that in a little bit because I want to give everybody an opportunity to tell your friends. We're going to talk about the Bob Marley trailer. We're going to play it and we're going to talk about it. But Bob Marley is one of those historical figures like Muhammad Ali. This is transcendent.
Yes.
Right? Because yes, it's going to be a Black movie, but there's plenty of white folks all over. I had this debate one time a while back, and I want to see anybody, drop in the comments to tell me what you think. I honestly believe that the Marley family is as impactful or maybe more impactful than the Jackson family in the history of Black music as a family.
I would say more.
And then people would say, "Oh man, you guys must be out of your mind. You must be out of your mind." Michael Jackson, blah blah blah, Janet Jackson. I said, do you realize that there is a whole radio station on Sirius XM that is 90% Marley family music? Not just Bob, but all the son, all the kids, and it's all amazing music. And he's been gone now for 40 years. I'm just ballparking. I think Bob Marley died in about 1981, give or take.
I'll look it up, but he died of brain cancer.
He died, and of course there was also that. People who felt there was some conspiracy theories around that about whether or not did he die of brain cancer, was he killed, blah, 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 blah. But point being is that Bob Marley's music is absolutely transcendent. Anytime I want to shift my mood and calm the hell down, I'm going to turn on some Bob. And all of a sudden I'm going to be like, okay, life's all right. Let me chill out with some Bob.
Trying to compare them to the Jacksons is weird for me. Like, the Jacksons got two people, Janet and Michael.
But they got the group too. So you got the Jackson 5, which was before Michael. But
how long has the Jackson 5 been out of business?
No, but that's not the point, because Bob Marley started the business in the late 1950s, early 1960s, right?
But I'm saying he moved through time that the Marley family has always dominated throughout time. I mean, you got Bob Marley, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Then you had Stephen and Ziggy, both 90s and 2000s.
So, and here's the thing, and here's why I think there's a great comparison. This is a good conversation. I'm glad I brought it up. Yes, we've got Ziggy and we've got Steven and we've got other. I'm trying to host a show here, buddy. I'm trying to host a show, size. Tito matters, darn it.
Tito matters.
So, nobody has even touched the impact that Bob had. You know, Ziggy has done some great stuff, and Steven has done some great stuff, and Damien has done some great stuff. And
Damien, that was the other one.
Damien, but I'm almost lost, like, who's the kids? Who's the nephew? I don't even know. It's just, it's so long. Kevin X, what's up, my brother? He passed.
Who was Rita?
He did die in
1981. Was Rita his wife?
Rita was his wife, yes, but I want to say he might have had outside children, but don't quote me on that.
Well, no, I always forget that Rita was a singer. And then
Rita was a part of the Wailers. Yeah, she was a part of the Wailers, which was right. So you got to think about how far Bob goes back, but Bob's impact has been steady since he passed in 1981. It is now 2023, and he's still. And then, yes, Andre, Rohan Marley, I don't know if they was ever married. As far as I know, Rohan was still married, but having babies by Lauryn Hill, but that's a whole different conversation. Well, she got 6 kids. I don't know how many of them are by Rohan.
Let's move on before we go on the baby daddy train.
But the point is that when we talk about the impact of the Marleys and the Jacksons, I honestly believe that the all-world international impact of the Marley family. And people say, well, are you out of your mind? That's about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was
I agree with you.
humongous. There's no question about it. But you can go, and people says like, nobody you go out of this country, nobody knows about. I can walk into any beach right now and see somebody representing Bob Marley. I can walk into any beach house. I can walk up to any bar. I can go anywhere, and in any
From the
moment, I can
nastiest
turn. And
beaches in Florida to San Tropez, Ibiza, and the richest
I can
communities
walk
around
in
the world.
Japan. I can walk into wherever, and Bob Marley will be playing, and people will be representing Bob Marley. And so, interesting conversation. I'd love to get some feedback throughout the show if anybody has any other deals with that. All right, so where you want to go with today's show?
Let's go right at the gate with Keke Palmer and Jonah Hill. I know we talked about Keke Palmer a little bit at the top of the show, but let's just go into really what happened. She had she goes to the Usher show. It's her first time out after giving birth to her son. She's got a little bit more bang here, a little bit more boom there in the body. And she decided to wear something sexy. It was a lace dress with a bodice underneath. I have a similar dress to this. The bodice is normally covering the entire butt, but hers was a thong. She gets to the show. A part of Usher's show was pulling a woman out of the crowd and doing the little sexy dance. And so she spun around and showed her butt and was hugging all over him. All of us thought it was kind of benign. All of us did, until her baby's daddy got his raggedy light-skinned behind on Twitter.
When you say all of us, does that supposed to include me? Go ahead.
You didn't think this was benign too before his comments came out.
I didn't give a damn before the comment because I didn't know anything about it. Once he made a comment, then all of a sudden I was engaged in this conversation. But go ahead.
Comment was, he said, but you're somebody's mom, talking about her dress.
Right.
It then evolved into saying that he has morals and standards for his family and for his wife. Keke Palmer is not his wife. I keep pointing that out. And it's kind of a split down the middle situation. Some people are saying that her dress was inappropriate, her behavior towards Usher was inappropriate, and some people are saying that he's being misogynistic and controlling. I think both of these are stupid arguments. I think he should have never put this on social media. And
that we can agree on that. This is a conversation you should have had at the house with your woman, whatever y'all labels are. If it's wifey, it's not wife, so this is a funny thing about this conversation because you start seeing. Here's the thing: we got to stop looking at all these people like the internet like a monolith. Women are sane. All women are not sane. All men are not sane, right? So there's some people who want to talk about misogyny and blah 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 blah. People say, well, he ain't married her. How we know she may not want to marry him? So stop acting like he done dropped the one knee or he won't drop the one knee. Keke may be like, I ain't trying to get married. Here's what we know about Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer is going through some ups and downs. She grew up in front of us in the public eye since a child. I know she has some issues, some self-esteem issues. She had some really, really bad acne, and that was something she constantly talked about. And she was never really like, but now looking at her, she's, at least in this dress, in this picture we got on here, you can tell the baby done gave her some nice 15, 20 pounds in some places that weren't there before. And so now she's like, all right, well, I'm going out to the Usher show and I'm gonna have my butt out. And then so people are like, well, then you get into the conversation about, body positivity. Oh, let that girl do what she want to do. Like, okay, here we go. All right. Here we go. And so, do I feel like he should have kept it to himself? Yes. Do I feel like she shouldn't have had her butt out? Yes. Do I feel like these people need to keep their business at the crib? Absolutely. But this is what keeps them in the limelight. I don't even know this guy's name. What is his name? Darius Jackson. What is he known for? Is he known for anything?
I try to look for an IMDb or a LinkedIn page for his profession, and I couldn't find one. Maybe he's an athlete. I don't know. I couldn't tell. But here, he is the brother of Sonia. Is it Sonius? I always pronounce this man's name wrong. Sonius Jackson, who was one of the stars on Insecure, Issa Rae's Insecure. And not like a star, like he was in 1 or 2 episodes. Like he was in like 9 episodes, a well-known character, dated Molly on Insecure on Netflix. By the way, Insecure has hit Netflix. If anybody wants to catch up on it,
I did see that,
Netflix to watch Insecure. But he's not really well known. Nobody really even knew about him until she got pregnant. And I don't even know how long they've been dating.
Yeah.
I don't know. And you're right. We don't know if he's asked her to marry him and she just said, no, I don't want to marry you, or it's not for me or whatever. But it always confuses me. And I'm sorry to sound like the Andrew Tate of Life Full Circle Radio. But like, ladies, I hate when women say, well, I want to have a baby with him, but we're not ready to get married. But you're ready to have a baby, so you're ready to be attached to a man
For the
for the
rest of your
rest
life.
of your life. Even
Yeah.
if that child dies, you are still attached to this man for the rest of your life.
Correct.
You are ready for that, but to
Correct.
not get married where you can get a prenup. You can't get no prenup for no baby and say, well,
No.
we're going to do this, this, and this. You
No.
can for a marriage.
No.
So that's weird for me. And it's
Yeah, I
also
don't.
weird
Yeah.
screaming
Go ahead.
morals and values where if she didn't want to marry you, then why did you knock her up, dude? Like, don't give me morals and values. Don't.
It's just and full disclosure, like I said, I have a blended family. My oldest daughter was before my wife, and I speak from experience, brothers. If y'all don't have no kids, y'all don't want that smoke of having to deal with. And I always hate the term baby mama. I never really use it.
But
Anytime I
sometimes
say
for
it, I'm
some
saying out of
women,
jokes.
that's what it is.
It's not fun, guys. I'm telling you, it's not fun. When you've got someone who you're attached to with the child, but you do not have any sort of claims on how she moves, because you're not in a real relationship with them. And that's the part that, but here's the thing, you're in a real relationship. You're just not in the type of relationship where you have the level of you ain't going here, you ain't doing that, you ain't bringing people around my baby, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And that's when you get into all the nonsense that is the court systems and legal documents and all this type of garbage. I said, I think, jumped in a couple comments today. Keke Palmer is going to get the life that she's chosen. And she's got herself a baby daddy now. And so while she's in the public light and she's got a much more brighter public lens on her than him, this ain't gonna be cute. So hopefully they
I'm
work
thinking
itself
in my
out.
head because for famous women and for women, I know some of these women are probably listening and hear this, but I feel like Keke Palmer heard the biological clock ticking. Because I want to say Kiki's only a couple years younger than me. She's in her 30s, right?
Yeah, I'd assume she's in her early to mid 30s. She ain't that
Which is,
old though, because Lord, the brat just had a baby at
first of
almost
all, don't
50.
call me old. That was rude.
I didn't
And
call you old. You heard that
oh,
yourself.
excuse me. She's nowhere near how old I am. That girl is 29 years old. So never mind. I retract my
Keke Palmer's
argument.
only 29.
Thank you. That's the same face I just made.
Wow.
What I was
Okay.
going to
Well,
say
she's been
is
around
that
for so long.
yeah, I was going to say that maybe she heard the biological clock ticking
Yeah.
where it's time to have a baby because you don't have that much time left. And you just pick, the little cute light-skinned guy who walked into the room. Hey.
You want your baby to have
I
good
used to a
hair.
lot of
You
women
want
my
your
age
baby to
doing
have good hair.
that. He does, though. He got good hair. He got light skin. He got pretty baby. Like, so let's move to the other side of this coin. So actor Jonah Hill, the actor, white actor everybody loves.
Yeah.
His ex-girlfriend, aka Bitter Betty, decided she was going to
The
put
bitter
private
Betty.
text messages from Jonah on Instagram and on Twitter. And she was basically trying to make it seem like
Hold on.
Jonah
Before we get off this, hold on. Kevin Jones just informed us. He's a fitness instructor.
So he's unemployed. Let's stop. That's like when girls say they're Instagram models. I'm an Instagram model. I'm a fitness instructor. You're
Go
unemployed.
ahead.
Stop it.
Oh God!
Okay.
So finish
Okay,
up
we're
your
gonna keep going.
Jonah Hill rant.
So Jonah's ex-girlfriend posted Twitter private text messages on social media claiming that he was basically emotionally abusive and how she had to learn from this and whatever. These messages are from 2 years ago, and I've read the messages. Miguel has read the messages. We both asked the same question: are there messages missing? Like, true enough, what he was asking of
Is
her.
there
Because he was asking, like,
message in there why he's dressed like a woman? Is there any messages that explains that in this picture? Because I've
they're
seen
at the
this.
Vanity Fair Awards and they're matching. Keep focused on what we're talking about. So he was
Go
saying
ahead.
how I don't want you to have male friends. I don't want you to wear skimpy bikinis on Instagram. I don't want you to have friends with toxic females. It was all stuff that he's had insecurity about that he's bringing out to her. He did not put her blast on Instagram. He did not shame any of her photos. He told her privately. Now she's putting it out there, and the feminazis are now coming out saying, "Oh my God, I'm so glad she's free. Oh my God, see, this is
But see, that's the
emotionally
hypocrisy
abusive.
in
Me
it.
too
There's the
movement." And I was
hypocrisy
like,
in it. And once again, I'm contradicting myself because we're gonna look at these people as a monolith. So all of a sudden, 1 minute ago, we mad because the brother man exposed his woman in public on Twitter. He didn't expose, the woman exposed, and it's still the man's fault. Nonsense.
well, no. In Darius's defense, if he would have texted her his issues with her outfit and went off on her, like went off about the outfit, and then she leaked it, I still would have been on. I would have been on his side. Like, well, no, he told you in private, and you
Right.
decided to put it out there, so you kind of
Right.
suck.
Right. So in this situation, she put all these, and I started reading the text. And I was like, and I really was hearing all those texts in his voice. He is just that he is that typical cool white dude that smokes a lot of good weed all the time, don't want no smoke from nobody, very condescending. Everything about it was just like it's just going to be very crystal clear. This is what I just don't think it's right. And she blows this up like he's just emotionally abusive. No, you
And
can't
that's
hit.
what I don't like. I don't like the labeling of, okay, he's part of he should be considered in the Me Too movement and emotionally abusive. And I hate the fact that somebody got a psychology dictionary and just started giving it to everybody in the world. And now there's emotionally abusive and you're gaslighting me and you're this and that and all this bag of BS. Nobody knew these words before. Why did you say he's a controlling jerk? I don't want to date him, and walk
And
your
move
happy butt
on
out the door
and
and
go
move
on with
on?
your life. Go on with your life. I look at
And
all this
also,
stuff.
why wait 2 years? Really quick, why wait 2 years to put these out now that he's got a new girlfriend and a new baby?
I think you just answered your question. Does he
All
have a movie
right.
coming out? Is he right? That's always the one we always look at. Okay, does he have a new project coming out? Whatever thing, if he's in the limelight, then she's gonna take advantage of it and get herself some more Instagram follows. Social media is just terrible. The access it gives people who have no talent to get out here and
Oh,
act a fool.
I now really love Jonah Hill because of this incident, he's now selling complete unrelenting control merch because of the situation that happened. He's selling T-shirts that say unrelenting control.
Hey man, everything is an opportunity in today's climate. Everything's an opportunity to make a dollar, and there's a lot of folks that take advantage of that. So yeah. So I don't, and once again, she's another partner of a famous person. I don't even know her name, and if you tell me, I probably won't care. What is her name? Sarah.
Sarah Brady.
Sarah.
And she
Sarah.
looks like her name. She looks like a Sarah Brady, like regular, everyday, schmegular, regular, degular white girl who teaches surf classes to losers who live in Aspen. Like if that she couldn't be more Caucasian if she was wearing Birkenstocks and a tie dye T-shirt.
Is it offensive if I say both of them look like lesbians in this picture?
Would it be offensive if I said you would look really good in that color suit? Though I really feel like you could pull off mint.
If I have a nice mock neck shirt but not with a string of beads and with my chest tattoo out. Come on, man.
I think you could pull off chest. No, you
No.
can't. I can't even say it with a
No,
straight
I'm not
face.
trying to pull off no chest tattoo. I don't even like to get in the pool without a shirt on, man. Like
Oh
come
wait,
on,
now
man.
you're still that guy with a T-shirt with a white beater on in the pool.
Absolutely. Now you can't say white beater anymore. It's an A shirt.
Oh, is that bad too?
Everything is bad. But come on, think about it. That was always bad. That was always bad. Like the shirt was denoted as a wife beater. Come on, man. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. That that
Why
that
do they
was a
call it that?
nickname
Because the
for.
rednecks would take off their shirts to beat their wives. Is that what they would call it, a wife
First of
beater?
all, if you turn on cheaters or turn on something and a woman is getting abused, he's got his undershirt on, and it's an
Days of
A
being
shirt.
on cheaters. Thank you
Can we
very much.
not?
Don't
Can we move
mention the name
on?
of the
Because
cheater. Okay.
this is not going anywhere positive. We got to move on.
We're
All
sorry,
right.
guys. We're sorry.
All right. So anyway, so Jonah Hill, he's gonna move on. He's gonna find somebody else to smoke some good weed with and move on with his life. And this woman is gonna do whatever she's gonna do with hers. All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about this. Let's get into our little. What time is it? Okay. Let's get into a little bit about politics because I guess the crazies on both sides. You got two sets of crazies. Freedom Caucus members.
You got white on white crime.
So
I
let me
need to
see.
stop.
Let me
I'm
see.
making myself laugh.
What's wrong, man? All right.
No,
So
because it's just you go ahead and lead this one in. I'm gonna tweet out some stuff.
all right. Freedom Caucus members voted to oust Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's unclear if it worked, which kind of means like what? They put her out, but she said no, I'm not leaving.
I guess she decided she was gonna take the FE White route, and I'm
It's-
gonna stay.
This chick right here is just, oh my God, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I know people from Rome, and I had some good conversation with with some people from Rome, and this is one of those situations where you have an amazing gerrymandered situation where she'll probably never get voted out until she decides to leave, or until she does some tax evasion stuff or whatever. But Marjorie Taylor Greene will be a thorn in our side for forevermore. But then she's fighting with the other chick from Colorado, Lauren Boebert, I think her name is, the high school dropout who's 30-something years old with a grandchild.
Who's getting divorced. Her husband left her, even though her husband is also a registered sex offender. Yay, America!
You just gotta laugh. These are the people that are leading our country. And Kevin X, what's up, brother? Yeah, we're gonna talk about Thread here in a minute or two. We can definitely talk about Thread.
But what makes this so tacky and trashy is that Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently gotten some weird white off on the caucus floor.
That's a good one.
Where Marjorie Taylor Greene called Lauren Boebert a little B word. Like, these are two grown women.
You're grown women standing on the doggone Congress floor, Senate floor.
In hallowed political ground, calling each other names. And now the Freedom Caucus has decided that she is too radical for them. This is a woman who said that the Jewish community was causing bombs or something, and that the January 6th guys just need to pray their way because she's going to get them out of jail. Both of these women are ridiculous human beings, but this is where politics is right now. It's just ridiculous. It's Dodoville. It's
but
Dodoville.
Let's just give it some perspective. All of these people always existed, right? It's just cameras are in their face all the time. Let's keep it perspective. There's 435 members of the House of Representatives. That's why you don't really see people who are senators do this type of dumb crap. It's always people in the House of Representatives because they're representing a smaller part of whatever they're from, and they got a bunch of nut jobs. They got this all in the community where they live that voted them in. And so for years you've seen this type of stuff. It's just now because we're in a place where it's just a different ball game now. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's just such a vile human being, and I look at her and just say, why do we have to deal with her? But it is what it is.
And what happened is, I feel like Donald Trump ushered in the whole, if you say what's on your mind, it means you're honest. It means you're real. No matter how dumb what you're saying is coming out of your mouth, how hypocritical it is, how un-American it truly is. No matter what, you're being honest. And
is it un-American? Is it un-American?
Being honest or being stupid, or which part?
Yeah, because here's the thing. I always listen to the Republicans and listen to especially the MAGA people. The American people want this. The American people want that. They don't look at us as American people. I'm unfortunately at a place now when I see American flags flying, I question who's flying them. There was a time when American flags were not even, I might buy a t-shirt with an American flag, all good. But now it's like, it's almost been weaponized. Then you see those ones that are just black and blue and you're like, And you start to wonder again, who am I dealing with? Who am I driving behind? Who is it? Who is this on the highway with me? And so when you say American people, these people represent the America that is half of this country, unfortunately. I won't say half. I say a good 35%.
I blame social media and Twitter for making them a little bit more louder. Because think about it. Back in the day, in high school, you could stay away from the crazies in high school. Yeah. The cool kids sat together. The dorks sat together. The crazy druggies sat over there. Everybody was cool in their own ecosystem. Then Twitter came out. Now we all got to associate with the crazies, the druggies, the dumbasses, and the nerds. We all got to be in one big arena now, all talking to each other. And it's well, no, ridiculous.
That's Twitter. That's Twitter.
Well, it's just Twitter.
With the algorithms keep me away from the nut job for the most part because I tend to stay away from it.
Because my Twitter is a melting pot. I get it all. I get the MAGA people. I get the political people. I get all the trans people now, thanks to my research for this show. We'll bring that up next week. So I get everything. By the way, do you know that an organization called Joe's Cervical Health Foundation, it's based out of the UK, wants to no longer call vaginas. They want to call them bonus holes. I can prove it. I'm not just like being funny. They really want to call it bonus holes.
No, I saw this story earlier. I did see this story earlier. And I was just like, and here's the thing. It's like, live and let live. But come on, man.
No, the good news is the trans community.
I'm not teaching my 3 girls that they no longer they got bonus holes. kind of
But here's
nonsense
the
is
thing,
this?
even the trans community has come out and said, did none of us ask for this? Like, this is not what we're even talking about. This doesn't bother us. Like, what are you talking about? So I appreciate the fact that on some things, the trans community is just like, you sound dumb.
Well,
And
see,
we don't
here's the
want to have
thing,
anything to
and
do
for
with it.
people who wonder what Kia's talking about, we've got in the next week or two, we're gonna have a conversation with someone from the trans community, because I know that there are people in the trans community that probably think like me. They're just like this, like I want to leave them alone, live your life. They want to be like, leave us alone. I'm gonna live my life. Cool. It
Do
doesn't
you?
bother me, But when you start to get into this, where I got to change everything about how the language is, and you're no longer a heterosexual, you're a cisgendered. No, I'm not.
Or I'm no longer a mother who gave birth. I'm a person who gave birth.
Yeah, no. No, you're not going to change the way that you can speak how you want to speak. And then when all of a sudden, if I don't understand what you're telling me, then you may have to translate to me so I can understand, but you're not going to determine how I'm going to talk about myself. I'm a heterosexual. I'm not cisgendered. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know why that language had to
We'll
change.
go through it all in a couple of weeks. I'm excited
Yeah.
about our guest. I'm working with her now to come on because I want her to know that this is a free space, that we want to talk to
Yeah.
her. We want to expose the trans ideology in the community to the Black community who watches us.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got a lot of
Absolutely.
people who are like Miguel, who are like, I don't know a trans person. I have no idea. This is so foreign to me. I have no idea what
Right.
to do.
Right.
So
Right.
tune
So
in.
we'll talk about it in a
Go
couple of
there.
weeks. All right. So before we get into that, and my man Kevin X. So yes, we are going to talk about, and we're going to talk about it right now.
So speaking of
Uh,
social media
speaking
and
of
the Twitter
social
craze,
media, and Twitter, Threads, is Threads really a Twitter killer? Threads, for people who may not know what we're talking about. Um, well, it's 100 million people now are already on Threads, and so,
I bet.
but when I got on there, I know they got more work to do, but it's not really much to it that's really like amazingly exciting. Like, oh God, this is so much better than Twitter. I've never really spent a lot of time on Twitter anyway, because exactly what we just talked about and the nonsense which is Twitter. Um, so, but what's your take? I think you just got on Threads a couple of days ago. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I just got on Threads a couple days ago. I think Saturday it might have been Sunday. No, it was Saturday. And it is Twitter, except for you don't have a search feature. You
Yeah,
literally just have to wait for other people to post. Like, you can't follow a thread, which is what it's called.
that's
You have to
interesting.
wait.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna pull it up on my phone right now, just because I want people to know the interface. So the interface actually is the same color scheme as an Instagram.
Hmm.
You have your homepage, you have the people that you follow who get pulled over from Instagram, and you can kind of just scroll up, and there we go. You can kind of just scroll up and see different things. But when you click the little magnifying glass,
Hmm.
there's nothing there. It's just people you should follow. It's not actual threads you want to follow like it is on Twitter. That's what I think kind of makes it kind of a boring app to me. That I can't just search on my own and look what's going on. I can only look at people who I follow. And I think that's kind of crappy. Unless I'm missing some part of threads that I haven't done yet.
No,
It just
no,
seems
I think that it is, and if you guys want to follow me on Threads, as Kevin on stage, this is funny. Let me see. I
I
hope
saw
it's
that
audio.
was so funny
This is
about the
so
Drew
funny. Let
Hill
me see the
dog.
audio works.
No. Poor Drew Hill dog. That's a Drew Hill dog, y'all. It's
Oh, that's
hilarious.
hilarious though. When I saw Kevin on stage post that, but here's the thing. I think this is just the beginning.
Could
Um,
be.
this is obviously just the beginning, and I'm on the and I don't think the experience is the same on the internet as it is on your phone, because I don't even see where to leave my own. I don't even see where to leave.
Oh, wow. Where
So
do
we're
you
all just learning. So this is some of my replies in the threads, which is me, but I don't see where I go see anything else right now besides what I'm looking at. So point being is that it's new. It's a new social media platform. We're all learning what we're going to do with it. But here's the part that pisses Elon Musk off. All he had to do, as in Mark Zuckerberg, was turn it on, and we all ran over there. The news outlets ran over there because And this was just days after Elon Musk shut it down and said you can only read 500 tweets a day, and which I'm like, who's reading 500 tweets a day? They have to be
Who's
limited to read 500
thank
tweets a
you.
day. Get a
I
life.
thought that was just me. It was like, what?
Why would I want to read 500 tweets a day? So, but Zuckerberg has everybody. People can say what they want to say about Facebook. Facebook is what it is. It's not as great as it used to be. He's got Instagram, which means
But
that
he
what
needs
you
to keep advertisers happy, and I feel like this is another platform that he's trying to use to keep advertisers
sure.
happy. Because I'm a Facebook advertiser, like big time for
Mm-hmm.
a lot of brands. I
Mm-hmm.
spend $1 million almost every 6
Mm-hmm.
months on Facebook ads, and the restrictions they put on advertisers now is a little ridiculous. Like,
But
thank you
hold on,
ACLU
hold on,
for
hold on,
that.
hold on.
I'm sorry.
Marketing mastery tips. You were already going into us. We might as well go ahead and so finish your rant about social media, Facebook, and advertising, all that stuff.
So Facebook, and I mostly blame the ACLU for this, for making it, everybody needs to get advertised to, it needs to be fair when it comes to housing and employment and this and that. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy to me that's what the ACLU thought. They fought with Facebook, so Facebook changed a lot of their rules on advertisers. Then you have the political issues that come into Facebook and Facebook ads and how they have to deal with that. So you're losing a lot of your advertising capability and who you really want to target. So now if Facebook is thinking, well, we really can't change how you advertise. We can change the amount of people. We can let you advertise to Facebook and Instagram and now to Threads. So you can
So is that already in the community where you can now advertise on Threads as well? Is that a part of
Not
it?
yet, but they're saying within
Okay.
the next 3 months you will be able to advertise on Threads. But for
Okay.
me as an advertiser and as a digital coach, I want to see what the platform is going to do to expand before I say, hey, let's put you on Threads. Let's start promoting on the Threads placement and the Facebook ads. Because what I'm assuming is going to happen is that when you've built ads in Facebook before, you know how this
Yes.
goes, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when you click your placements, I'm assuming it won't be like a whole other advertising platform. You just click your placement.
They're gonna do the same thing they did with going back to my radio days. They're gonna give it away from the beginning to get people to start to say I may have spent 1/10 of a tenth of money on Threads, and I got some response. When I left radio full time as on the sales side in 2005 is when iHeart had just started, and we could not give that away. It was radio ads would cost $400 a spot. We were trying to give that stuff away for $10 a spot, and nobody wanted it. Right now, everything is streaming as well as being, and there's simulcast. But even in some campaigns that I've ran here recently, they're still not selling those Instagram, those internet ads at much of a premium in comparison to what they're doing on air. So there's still this skepticism when it's just I don't know. Go ahead.
When the bottom fell out of social media after the pandemic, which is what a lot of people are talking about right now, the bottom fell out of the internet after the pandemic was over. During the pandemic, podcasts were popping. Social media is all anybody can communicate on. So getting a premium spot during the pandemic was working. Trying to do, TV, radio, anybody in their car, nobody's watching TV. They're trying to find different entertainment sources.
Right.
Now that the pandemic is over and people are back doing different things, it is now shifted. Where now people are back in their car going to work, listening to commercials. They're back watching TV a little bit more. So they're not listening to the podcast. They're not engaging in social media as much as they were. So a lot of those prices and
Are they not engaging with social media? Is that reflecting the price? Because people are still all over social media.
It is reflecting in the price. I have seen, the cost per clicks have gone down. Like what would have cost $7 is now costing me $4 and a couple of chains. And I'm getting less lead volume because less people are out there. So it's a little bit of weird space right now. And I hope that Threads does develop the product to be a lot better than what it is. Because if it's just going to be, I can only look at stuff from people I follow. Let's be real. The people I follow, I see them on Facebook.
Right.
I see them on Instagram.
That's going to change.
I see in real life. Like
that's
going
to change. From a psychological standpoint, you want to be able to jump on a platform and see people you're familiar with. That's his model. That was the original Facebook model, right? So I get where he's going with that. I think what you're talking about the changes in the cost and engagement levels, the market is so tremendously fragmented right now that, when I see what's happened to ESPN, where all of these major people were fired, and to me, that was a reset of the financial model for ESPN. But people like Jalen
Talk about a bloody
Rose,
Sunday over at
yeah,
ESPN.
but people like Jalen Rose are going to go to a podcast, and he's going to get on somebody's podcast network or negotiate it directly, and he's going to be fine. And so
But
when I,
AC's going to be fine. Think about how many
mhm,
very famous sports guys
mhm,
have podcasts right now. Think
mhm.
about it. It's a lot of them.
But
So
he
can
has
all
an
of
audience though,
do all
right?
of these advertisers now want to advertise on the same type of platform to the same type of person all
Oh,
the
it's going to
time?
be a struggle. You're going to have people who know what they're doing. You're going to have to be able to go direct to these brands and build. They're going to have to do something that many people are doing out here every day anyway, and building relationships directly with these brands. But they already have a leg up. Like when Jalen Rose and Keyshawn Johnson and Shannon Sharp and
Oh,
these other folks hit the market, there's going to be interest. And in a lot of cases, they're probably going to make. There's going to be interest. There's no
for a
question.
minute.
Well,
For a
we're getting
minute,
ready.
it'll be
But
interest.
here's the thing. This is the slowest time of the year to be a sports broadcaster. There's nothing major
Oh,
going
there's
on.
nothing going on.
You
Yeah.
know. So
And, and,
so
and, and,
right.
and you're right about that, which made me also interested. Why did they decide to go straight bloody Sunday
It's the
during the
time of the year
summertime?
because it's the
I get
perfect
it,
time of the
but
year. And here's why. And I'll tell you why.
all right.
Because they're resetting the model. So when I'm looking at who they've got there featuring right now, they brought in these younger broadcasters who have the same type of voice, the debate format, and all of that. Well,
Yeah.
I don't have to pay Mr. He just came out of the NFL last year and has a voice. The same $3 million a year I was playing Jalen Rose. I can get him to do the same thing Jalen was doing, and he might do it for $500,000. So you're resetting those things. You're holding on to the people. Like when I look at ESPN, they really held on to Stephen A. Smith.
That's it.
That's like the major. Everybody else are like people. I'm like, who are you? When did you play in the league?
It's Stephen
You
A.
know,
Smith and the janitor that's been there for the past 20 years. Those are
right.
the only
A
two
lot of the other
remaining
people
long-term
that
employees.
they're good, but they don't have huge names. Mike Greenberg has been there forever. They'll never get rid of the white Jewish guy that's been there for 25 years. He ain't going nowhere. But some of these other guys, he's there resetting the model, and Fox Sports is going to have the struggle too by letting Shannon Sharp go because they're trying to figure out
Yeah.
who they're going to team up with Skip Bayless.
So
But
I'm seeing a lot of people come into the room right now. So I know you guys probably saw that we're talking about Threads. Hopefully, Threads, like ESPN is doing, maybe resets the market. I think Threads is supposed to do what people thought Truth Social was supposed to do. Remember when Truth Social came out? That was it was the Republican version of Twitter.
Well, that's why it was going to fail because it was already put into a box that nobody gives a damn about. Only people on.
There
And
you
then
go.
this is Truth Social the one that Trump always now releases all of his content on? Is that Truth
Yes, that
Social?
is Truth
And
Social.
most of us don't give a damn about Truth Social, right? It's really So what Threads has done is it made it very easy. I had to do nothing but go on Instagram,
Yeah,
click
there's
it, and then all of a sudden, all day, whenever it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm getting all these. Now he's following. Now she's following. Blah 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 blah.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. So now he has the audience, and now it's going to be who at that point are we going to engage with? He'll figure it out. I'm saying Meta is like Apple. Like everybody says, oh, Apple always is slow to the move. Apple has the resources. They can sit back and watch everybody else screw up. And then they
Yeah.
say, oh, okay, we've seen that mistake, that mistake, that mistake. And now we go
Mhm.
get it. What Elon Musk has done with Twitter over the course of 18 months is criminal.
Hey, you ain't never lied in the history of businesses. And we always say this that me and Miguel have been doing this in digital marketing for a long time.
Right,
Like we get this stuff very
right,
well. And to
right.
watch him take a platform that might have been maybe in the red occasionally, maybe losing money every now and then, to now take it straight to, oh, you ain't never gonna make no money. Like
And I've heard
you
him
ain't never gonna
say,
survive this.
I've heard him say that if it loses money, so be it. And I sit back and say, well, dude, what in the world
God.
are you there for? Like, are you?
That's what I'm
But
saying.
when you got money to
He's
blow,
like those wealthy guys who get rich and then buy a bunch of cars because I'm rich. I'm gonna buy all the cars in the world. So you got rich and bought Twitter because it was so cool to buy, and you had no plan for it. There was no plan for Twitter. It's like, I just want to buy this because it'll be cool and I'll help racist people or weird people be able to say whatever they want to say.
I
It's
don't.
been ridiculous. But what's been funny is the fact that the beef between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg has now reached stupid epic proportions where they are now talking about having a boxing match, which I never pay for pay-per-view stuff. I'll pay for this. To watch two.
112. He's lost 112 million dollars in the last 12 months earnings. I just want to make sure we saw that before. But that whole fight thing between Zuckerberg, if that really happens,
You don't want to watch them fight.
I was getting ready to say, if that really happens, I will watch that. That is going to be so ridiculous to watch them a minute and a half into it watching them gassed out and somebody with a broken nose and they just swinging and hitting
hands on
the
knees.
Oh my God. And that's a whole nother conversation. Oh my God. What's up, everybody tuning in? We got a lot of folks tuning in today. We appreciate y'all coming hang out with us today.
What's up?
All
I'm
right,
glad you guys tuned in about the convo. But yeah, I'm watching Mark Zuckerberg and these two mediocre white men beat the crap out of each other. And I'm sorry, if we had to pick who's a better supervillain? If we were in a superhero movie and we had to pick the supervillain who was gonna murder us all, who would it be? Elon Musk?
It'd be Elon Musk.
Or Mark Zuckerberg? No,
Mark Zuckerberg is the anti-hero that goes in that nobody really likes. But when he goes and fights Elon Musk, you're rooting for Mark Zuckerberg, but like he ain't no great guy either. But it is what it is. All right, so before we get up out of here, let me see. What would you say?
Do any super fun stuff? Is there anything super fun on the list? We always for those who are new.
We got to talk about. Hold on. We got to do our favorite segment. Our favorite segment of the week. So of course, our favorite segment of the week is How and What, and these are stories that are out there in these Twitter streets and these internet streets, and you would be like, oh, what? Did that really happen? Yes, it really did happen. All right, so what's her name? Britney Spears, who was a famous.
What's her name? That's what you lowered Britney Spears to.
Hold on. First of all, let's make it crystal clear. Britney Spears has always been there for me. I could give a damn about Britney Spears, even when Britney Spears was super dope, supposed to be amazing. Britney Spears, she was just vanilla.
Always that girl.
She was vanilla. She was just like, oh, she's okay. Nothing amazing, nothing to see here. So Victor Wembanyama, for people who may not be sports fans, he is the new darling of the NBA. He's 7'5". He's from France. He's 19 years old. They've been talking about driving him number one forever. And what just happened? And so now he is really famous. And so right now, this time of the year in Vegas, all the young boys, all the rookies are all out there playing. And so it's a lot going on in Vegas. And so out there in Vegas, Britney Spears runs up on Victor Wembanyama and tries to tap him like, hey, I'm Britney Spears. And her security says, I don't give a damn who you are. Take your hands off Victor Wembanyama, and slaps her, and now she's upset.
Okay, he just said that in a very minimal way. She got her hand slapped down, but I guess it was a ricochet to the slap, and she got kind of popped in the mouth. She got popped in the mouth, for lack of better words, when she tried to say hey to Victor
Wembanyama.
Victor W. And she kind of came out, so she's used to being disrespected, and Victor Wembanyama was kind of like, I don't know what happened, that was just there, like blah, blah, blah. Well, the video came out and everybody saw it, and the internet is literally split. Like, Britney, why are you putting your hands on people who, you are famous, you know this is not how this goes. Security. It didn't dawn on
and
you
that's
to
the thing. It ain't like you don't know how this goes.
No, you're right, but even worse, it wasn't like he was being swarmed by a bunch of people. I could see if she had run up between a crowd like, oh, Victor. It was one other person walking behind her. I think it was her husband. So for him to go full on,
no, but that's how that works, and she knows that. Victor was walking, his back was turned. I saw him in an interview. It says, hey, I was told not to stop. San Antonio security people told me keep walking. And she tried to come and touch him, which you may think was just benign, but all of a sudden, some blonde-haired woman with frizzy hair running up there with some white hooker boots on.
Runs up on. Let's pause really quick. This is not even a Miguel conversation. Just sit here. I was talking to his wife about this. White boots, midriff green top, black pants. Don't nothing match. Nothing match. blonde hair, tracks all over the place. And you know she always has on way too much black
Oh
eyeliner,
my
and it just
God.
always looks a slot mess. So I can get somebody maybe thought she was a prostitute or something or whatever.
We're right.
So again, it goes back to Brittany. You know better, baby. You know better.
But see,
You know
this is a perfect example of your famous ain't the same as your famous was 30 years ago, Britney Spears.
I know.
Victor
I
Wembanyama
know.
is young enough to be your son.
He is.
So you running up on him,
is.
and security done told you to back off, and you not listening, and so you got the karate chop at that moment.
You do feel bad for a little bit because I know some other comments have been like, well, Britney's in a manic state right now because since her conservatorship was over. I don't know what her mental state is, but I know during the conservatorship, she was treated like crap. After the conservatorship,
why am I supposed to feel bad for her?
Can you?
This is what most famous people do.
Oh.
If you're famous, you get one of your minions to go over there to another famous person's people, go to their people, and says, "Hey, hi Victor. Britney Spears, who was one time was an international pop star, would like to say hello."
Don't get disrespectful about Britney.
She is not still an international pop star. She can't fill up the strip club down the corner. Stop it. No one's coming to see Britney Spears sing right now. Stop it.
Everybody who's listening, please feel free to flood the comments because
Stop it. Anyway, my point is this. She should have had her people go over to his people.
I agree.
And say, "Hi, I'm representing Britney Spears. You may not know her name, but you can Google her real quick. She at one point was important. She wants to meet Victor." And it would have been a great picture to see 5'3" Britney Spears with 7'5" Victor Wembanyama. It'd have flooded the internet. Everything would have been cool. No. Now she's famous for looking like a fan after being in the game for 30 years, and she knew better. I don't feel sorry for her at all.
Let me finish my statement. What I was saying is that Britney Spears has been disrespected for a long time. She was disrespected during the conservatorship. The conservatorship is over. She's being disrespected, not right now, but got disrespected again. She then starts having different antics, still being disrespected, and now she gets disrespected on an epic scale, whether it was her fault or not. And you kind of got to feel bad for her because it's like, girl, I know you didn't need to be in no conservatorship, but you need to either get some real friends, your husband either needs to step his game up, or somebody's being there to say, hey, don't go tap him on the shoulder. What I'm gonna need you to do is just go sit right here and we'll go get him, or we'll call him tomorrow when we'll do this for you.
I am nowhere near famous, right? I saw about 3 years ago, Allen Iverson was in Buckhead, sitting in his Rolls Royce, and his boys who know me because we from the same hometown. They was like, "Oh, Miguel, what's up?" Blah blah blah, boom 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 boom. And I had a fanboy moment. I said, "That's my homeboy. That's AI. He know me. We from the crib." No, believe me, he knows me if I was in Hampton. He don't know me in Atlanta because he was in this.
Saying that makes you sound like a groupie.
Okay, and here's the thing. And in that moment, full disclosure, and all my homeboys are sitting on this joint right now. They know this, and they know if they see AI at the crib, they be like, "Man, why you diss Miguel?" He didn't know who I was. I walked up to the car like, "Yo, Chuck, what's up?" He was on the phone. He looked me off. Like,
he rolled the window up on you? Did he roll the window up on you?
He rolled it up on me, but it was kind of that joint like you take one more step. But his boys had me because they knew me. And you know what I did? I gathered up my little pride and I said, "I'll check you next time when I see you, Chuck. Not a problem. I know I'm 100 pounds heavier. I got a little bit more gray. You might not remember me from back in the day, so I'm not tripping." What's my point? My point is that if I would have gone to his...
Guys, I've never had that issue meeting a celebrity guy. I've never had that
First
problem,
of all, let's keep it real. I'm not meeting Chuck. Chuck just didn't recognize me. Different conversation. Okay. But my point is that if I'd have gone to his homeboys like, yo, let me holler. And then you know what they said to me? They said, "Miguel, they ain't even tripping. He on the phone. He only feel like being bothered right now." No biggie. I'm moving on. Here's my point. Britney Spears should have in that moment gone by the protocol, and you're way more famous than Miguel Lloyd, and you wouldn't have got dissed the way you got dissed. I do not feel sorry for Britney Spears about the Victor Wembanyama situation. The whole conservatorship and all that stuff, that's a whole different conversation because that was wild.
Show, guys. The last part of our show is going to be what are we watching? That's always a fun part that we watch. And I had a whole separate list, and then I watched FUBAR with Arnold Schwarzenegger over the weekend, and I'm hooked. FUBAR all day. Really? All hail FUBAR.
All
Did
right.
you watch it?
No.
You need to go watch it.
I
It's
don't. I
hilarious.
don't purposely watch anything from Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's something that I accidentally catch. It catches me, and his accent catches me. Then I stay engaged. No, I've not watched. You know what I am watching? I'm watching Hijack.
Oh, I
Hijack
gotta get
is
into it.
Hijack with Idris Elba. Everything that brother does is dope. You know,
Everything.
he did a movie version of
Luther.
Luther that was
Hmm.
pretty good.
Very good.
You know, it's just, we've been rocking with Idris since The Wire. You're talking about 20, 25 years with that joint. So we good. We good with Idris. And
And
so
you gotta get into Secret Invasion
yeah, I'll
on
check
Disney
out Secret
Plus.
Invasion. That's one of them things, you know, we've been so busy with everything, and I don't like to start things. But that's one of those I'm gonna have to watch without my wife because she ain't gonna get into that.
She's not. If you and honestly, this is one of those Disney series that if you haven't watched the Marvel, like not even just one Marvel movie or two Marvel movies, if you haven't watched like five, this whole storyline is going to be lost on you. There's going to be people in it like, well, who is
Right,
that? Where did that come from?
right,
Why is he here? You're
right.
not going to get it, but it's definitely good. I also like the fact that the cast is diverse without it
Hmm.
being obnoxiously diverse. We're like, well, why you put a black person there? There was no reason for this. Why'd you put a white person, an Asian person for what? You're in the middle of the Middle East. Where did you find a Chinese person? It's not like that.
Yeah.
And then yes,
Go ahead, I'm listening.
and the last show is Jack Ryan. Me and my husband are massive,
We talked about this Jack
massive.
Ryan stuff. I don't. I've never
Ooh,
watched. You know, I have this thing. How many seasons is Jack Ryan?
4.
Okay, too many. So I have this thing of I've never seen like if it's beyond 3 and this is what scarred me. You know what scarred me from going back and binge watching shows that are that old? Game of Thrones. Because Trey and
Oh,
I one summer we had never seen Game of Thrones and we
we were
picked
at
it
the
up.
same time. Remember, we both tried as a couple separately. We tried to do
Oh my
it.
God, we picked up Game of Thrones in season 6 and it was ridiculous. I'm talking about every night we were up to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning like one more episode. Oh my God, one more episode. And then you get
The
to
crackheads.
right, and then you get to the end of Game of Thrones, and that ending was terrible. It was like I spent these last few months because I think we binge watched those 6 seasons in like 2 months. It was ridiculous
Omar
how
threw
much
his
we
beer
watched.
at the TV. He almost broke our TV on the last season episode. He was so pissed off. He was just like, "Are you serious? We just binge watched like you guys stayed up all night for this. Are you
Right,
serious?" But
right.
Jack Ryan's not like that. Great storyline, great cast, great acting. I appreciate it. So anybody who's watching, you're gonna want to try to get into Fubar. Don't listen to Miguel. Jack Ryan, Hijacked, and Secret Invasion. Those are your watching orders. We want to hear
You
back
said
from everybody.
Hijack, Jack Ryan,
Secret
Fubar,
Invasion.
and Secret. Okay, I think what else are we watching? What is getting ready to come? I think that's it for right now. We're watching
That's a lot.
Loot, which is just something that's kind of silly with Maya Rudolph.
I couldn't do
Uh,
it. I couldn't do it.
why?
I couldn't do it.
Why not?
And I love everybody
I
in
like
Loot. I
Maya
love MJ,
Rudolph. I like
and I
Maya
love MJ
Rudolph.
Rodriguez. MJ Rodriguez, if for those who don't know, MJ Rodriguez is the actress that made Pose famous along with Billy Porter. So there's good
Okay.
acting on there. I just
It's funny. It's not. It's no. It's empty calories. It's not. You know. We were
empty
watching. It
calories.
is. It is. We were watching. Trey and I were watching. There's a great series, hip hop series, is on PBS. That Chuck D's narrating and all that. And Trey was just like, "Ah, this is. I can't deal with this. It's just making me mad because it takes you. It isn't so much. It's much more historical about the culture of hip hop from the late 1970s and all of the political stuff that went with it. So you know
Okay.
what we did to sit up here and our empty calories, we turned on Loot and then we laughed at some silly stuff and that was cool. Kevin Jones says he's watching Black Mirror now. What is Black Mirror? Do you know anything about that?
So
Kid?
Black Mirror is one of those Netflix staple shows. It actually kind of quote unquote went dark, I think, for about 2 years. So they're
Hmm.
just coming out with a newer single season of Black Mirror. To who is this? Is this Kevin X Jones?
Yeah.
So to anybody, I've never watched Black Mirror before. It's always gotten rave reviews. It's even been an SNL sketch before, so I know it's good. I just have never gotten into
This is the time of the year. There's nothing great that's being
There's
premiered, and
nothing in sports going on.
nothing in sports going on. Well, you know, the summer league basketball, and then you've got the situation with the writer's strike. That's going to be a problem. The writer's strike is going to be a problem because a lot of stuff is going to be delayed coming around, or it's going to be really
That means
terrible because the writer's going
trashy
to binge it.
reality TV for the
No,
next.
that'll never. No, it won't. Not for me. trashy reality TV will never be my go-to. I will go back and watch old episodes of A Different World every night before I go to
I'm going
trashy
back to
reality TV.
podcasts because I can't do.
Yeah, no.
We got to wrap the show up, but I can't do any more trashy reality TV shows. So I'm going back to my podcast. I'm actually listening to the Betrayal season 2 podcast, whatever. But anyway, thank you to all the people who tuned in tonight.
We have a great audience. We appreciate y'all. You make sure you guys are tweeted out hashtag LFC Radio. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We'd love to get your feedback, and you'll see some more clips out there. Just follow us all platforms. You can follow me at Miguel Lloyd Inc. At Kia Shakur. It's her social media, and that is us, Miguel and Kia, Life of Circle Radio.
Monday
Peace
nights
and
at 8 p.m. most of the time.
Most of the time.
Sorry, guys.
Peace.